Right, so today we're making stuffed peppers, and as you can see I've got 4 peppers which I've taken the lids off and de-seeded. I'm just going to pop these over here for a minute so that they're out of the way. We've got some cooked rice, so I'm going to empty that into the saucepan. I'm using the same saucepan that I used to cook it in. Okay. So we're going to take a little bit of tomato puree, any brand is fine, and probably about 2 tablespoons worth. Squeeze that into your rice. Give it a little bit of a stir. Do this just to give it a little bit of a flavour. You can use pre-flavoured rice if you want to, but it's just, I find this just a lot better because it's cheaper, in all fairness. Okay, now I'm going to make some pesto to mix in. So to do that, we take a packet of basil. You can make your own pesto, you can buy pesto if you want, but it's just as easy to make it yourself and cheaper. So mush this down with your pestle and mortar. Then usually with pesto I would add a little bit of garlic, but the olives that I'm using have got garlic in them, so I'm not going to worry about using garlic in this. I'm going to mush it down until it's really, really fine. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, should be about right. And that releases all the flavours from the basil, as well as makes it nice and small. Okay, so to your basil, to finish off making the pesto, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And give it a good stir. Okay, and then I'm going to add this to the rice. And stir that around. Mix it in all nicely. See, that's mixing in really well. And you want to make it quite even, so make sure, because otherwise all 4 peppers aren't going to get the full flavours. Okay, now we've got our olives. I'm going to chop them up. You can use whichever olives you want. I've got green olives that have been marinated in garlic, stuffed with garlic, but the garlic keeps falling out when I'm chopping it. So a nice handful of those, chop them up nicely. 1/4 is fine, quartering them even is fine. And pop them into your bowl or your pan with your other ingredients. The reason I go for the ones with garlic in is just because I like the flavour. But you can have plain if you want. You don't even need to have green. You can have black if you want. It's totally up to you. They can be the jar ones, they can be the fresh ones. There is a difference in the flavour between the jar ones and the fresh ones. And I always go for the fresh ones if I can afford it. Do a few more of these. I always find that when I do these videos when my partner's home, I always talk a lot quieter, and I don't know why. So I'm really sorry if you've had to turn the volume up. Just a couple more. And that should be enough. I'm just going to wash my hands in a minute. So I'm going to give this a nice stir to mix it all in. And as you can see, looking all good, all those flavours mixing in well. Next up we've got our ghost cheese. I'm going to use the whole packet of this, but you save about a quarter to one side, so chop it up. Chop it into little bits because we're going to mix this in with the rice mixture. Pop those in there. I love ghost cheese. Right. I'll save this bit just for a minute. Preheated my oven to gas mark 6. Okay, so that's mixed in nicely even. And now we're going to stuff our peppers with the mixture. So you're going to squidge as much in there as you can. Oops. Right up to the top. Squidge, squidge, squidge. Repeat this with the others. any loose stuff in, just pop them back in the top. Just stay there. Don't worry about making a mess, you can always tidy up whilst they're cooking. Last one, and so we're going to have just enough mixture, perfect. Now I used for the rice 1 cup of uncooked rice, which obviously swells up to about 3 times its size, and that's shown to be the perfect amount for these 4 peppers. I don't want it to fall over. But I want to grab this last bit out. Okay, let's pop that there a second. Now, so we're going to use the rest of this. So I'm going to cut this into little thin slices. Just pop this on the top of your peppers. Squidge it down nicely. We're going to put the lids back on. Just press them in quite firmly. It's a little bit easier to press in once they're cooked, in all honesty, or once they've started to cook a bit more, because the peppers will be softer. Okay, I'm going to pop this into the oven on gas mark 6 for around about 40 minutes. Timer for 40 minutes. You want them quite near to the bottom of the oven. The reason being because peppers are quite tall, so if you have them too far up in the oven, then they'll be too close. The top of the peppers will be too close to the top, and tops of them will burn. So pop them quite low down in the oven for around about 40 minutes. Right, so these have now been in for 40 minutes. As you can see, they look really well done. Let me move the laptop around so you can see them. Now, if your peppers are a little bit smaller, then they won't take as long, but if they are a bit bigger, then they'll take a little bit longer. So just do it until they're soft. These are firm, but quite soft at the top, which is great, which is perfect, which is they're holding their shape, and they're not going to fall apart as soon as you put them onto the plate. So that's perfectly fine. As long as your pepper's cooked, everything through is piping hot, roughly 40 minutes is fantastic. So, there you go. Enjoy your dinner.